Another victory, another strong performance, a big set of points gained by Juventus. They are officially in form. And are they back in the mix? Hey, we've got a ton to tackle here. And the biggest question, can they sustain it? As you know, that pressure is going to ramp up if we are, in fact, back in the mix. We had a beautiful match yesterday in the victory against Roma. Positive vibes all over the place. We're going to tackle this one together with Cliff and Omar. Looking forward to this show. Fellas, how are you doing? Cliff, how's it going, brother?
I'm in great spirits, guys. We got to win. We're wearing our holiday sweaters. I'm just ready to go. It's a good time to be a Juve fan at the moment. 6 out of 7 wins. I'm pretty happy right now.
Beautiful, beautiful. Omar, how you doing, brother? Oh, you're muted.
I'm fantastic. Couldn't be better. Merry Christmas to everyone, because we probably won't be here to congratulate everyone. So you're wearing your sweaters. I don't have a sweater, but I have some boxers. So, yeah. Secret Santa.
Nice.
So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Guys, welcome to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's great to have you in here. As like I mentioned, we've got another victory show. We're going to have a lot of fun. For those of you tuning in on our other socials, make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss the kit giveaway, all right? And again, everybody says I'm just announcing it, not showing it, but it's a third kit, all right? It's got Kenan Yildiz on the back, who is off another strong showing, okay? So you're going to want to be subscribed. And for our members that are in Legends tier, 120th anniversary Juventus kit up for grabs. But it's great to see you all in here. We got Ori in here, Skippy, David Tamadzian. We got Michael G, Wing of Winter, Cugino Eddie. Great to see you all, okay? And Cugino Eddie saying, best Juve match since the 4-1 Coppa win in 2024. We're going to tackle it all. We're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, we talked about the vibes in here. Great vibes yesterday. And I mean, even at the Stadio here, look at this. Giovinco and Del Piero. And Del Piero with that new training top that they put out there. What do you think of the training top? What do you think of that top Del Piero's got on there that they did in celebration of him? What do you think?
I know a lot of people didn't like it. I don't think it's that bad. I think his image or whatever it is really bad. But the shirt itself, I don't hate it. I don't think it's. I would wear it.
I actually love it.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so
man.
much.
No, I love it. It's got on the sleeve, the left sleeve, the ADP logo. And then on the back, it's got the dates from start to finish his career. The way the 10 is embossed on the back, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
I will say there are some really cool details in the kit. I will say there are some cool details. Just overall, it's not very appealing for me to look at. I wouldn't wear that kit, but there are some really cool details, and you can see they really took their time in terms of mapping out how they wanted the kit to look. So I do respect that, and I appreciate it a lot.
And I'm just a sucker. He's my favorite player all time. So I'm an easy sell on Del Piero shit. So I personally though, I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
And Giovinco, the original replacement to Del Piero. At the time
that never really panned out. Made his big move, took off to Canada, and set MLS ablaze, as he was way too good for that league, and he just destroyed.
Way too good.
Brought TFC championship though, and he's loved.
Best player ever, right?
Loved by a strong Italian community over there in the 6 there. So yeah, this was cool. It was good vibes all over the place when it gets to this game. In terms of the news, we do have some headlines. I see some messages in the chat already asking about certain players and their conditions. So yesterday we got a little bit of a surprise before the game that Cabal did not make the squad list. So he is pretty much being monitored, but apparently as of today being listed of being at risk for the next match against Pisa, which will be in 6 days time. Then you have obviously Bremer, who he said the plan after the match was to play 60 minutes. Today we are hearing that you have to wait and see because he is going to be going through evaluations just to make sure and everything. We have to remember he's just getting back to action. So the plan, it went according to plan, but he was down prior to that. So we're going to wait to see what comes of the evaluation. Chico Conceicao, he was a scare coming out of the game yesterday. He apparently has avoided any injuries after the evaluation. So Chico, no injuries. McKennie was also evaluated after the match, and he was evaluated today, and he also is clear of any injuries, all right? But we do have a surprise that came out of nowhere. Rugani has an injury. And he is essentially, yeah, so he gets evaluated and he gets looked at, and now he's dealing with something in his calf. So it's about 10 days recovery time frame as of right now. Factor in your J medical tax, and this could be 3 months, okay? So there you go. Rugani, out of nowhere. Yeah, injuries, Juve, I mean, same old, same old. Some things never change. But that is essentially what's dominating the headlines right now. There's one other thing, and this came out yesterday right around game time. I'm not so sure how much I put into it, the fact that it's come from Alfredo Pedula, but Juve apparently are monitoring Greek goalkeeper Christos Mandas, who's 24 years old, and his claim is that Perin is pushing for the move to Genoa to go and become the starter and take them up on their 3-year contract offer. Again, we'll talk about this probably more at the end of things as we get into other topics, or maybe we won't. That's just a rumor right now. But those are your headlines, everybody. Now we get to the game and the recap of what went down yesterday. So your starting 11, as expected, Di Gregorio was in goal. You had Kalulu, Bremer getting the start, and Lloyd Kelly as your left center back. We knew Koopmeiners was out because of suspension. This was a big talking point. Starting Gleison Bremer. Many were in the chat yesterday on our preview shows saying they would not have started him. And I said, look, if he's at that point and they're comfortable with it, we found out after the game the plan was 60 minutes. I was cool with it. Cliff, did you have an issue with starting Bremer? Were you nervous about it? Is it something you would have done? I don't see the alternative, to be honest.
I tweeted it during the game. Bremer in that lineup gives me 1,000,000% more confidence in that defense to be able to hold up. So I wasn't hesitant about the decision, because if they say he can go and you give him a set amount of time, 60 minutes, it sounds like that was the plan. Fully comfortable with that. Our team looks so much more solid at the back with him. And I think in a match that is so pivotal, I think, before the changing of the new year, or before Christmas, I should say, it was crucial that he plays in any capacity just to give us some solidity in the back. Because Kalulu and Lloyd Kelly, although they've had some bright spots, they've had their moments where they look really lost in the back, and Bremer really brings that confidence and that leadership in that back line. So I had no problem with it.
Confidence is not what's in question. I mean, we know what he can bring, but it's risky business. And the fact that he went down right around the time that they were planning kind of shows you that we were maybe playing with fire. But Omer, what did you think about the Bremer start?
I didn't really have any issues.
Yeah.
Mainly because Roma's attack is very slow. Like if we played Real Madrid and you wanted to start him and you had to chase like Mbappe and Vini, then it would be a lot more concerned. But that's Real Madrid. I'll be more concerned in general. But against Roma, I mean, we knew it's not going to be a full match. We knew in advance. We had zero options, to be honest, except for going to next gen. And I want to credit the guys because Coop wasn't there, and actually I didn't feel like he wasn't there. And that's not a knock on Coop. That's just to praise them as a unit, as a defensive unit. And they seemed fine. Roma barely got anything, to be honest.
Well,
I think that's our best back three.
We'll talk about Koopmeiners not being back there, because I wasn't worried about defensively not having him back there, but I was more thinking about how we balance out the progression of the ball. And that actually came down to a beautiful masterstroke from Spalletti in what he did in this game. And obviously we'll get into that and cover that. But yeah, when it comes to Bremer, The question was even posed yesterday about, him just getting back and throwing him into the fire and, big game, not getting enough minutes. But it's the injury. It's the injury for me that would cause me to think twice. And yeah, there is always this element of playing with fire. Are they 100%? And again, you see the contrast in here because Forza Juve claiming that they have such a better insight than us when it comes to what Bremer could handle, obviously because they're working with them on a day-to-day basis. But you see the flip side. You see the flip side because Rugani comes in as a filler for the final half hour, walks away injured after just returning. You have Cabal with a new injury after just coming back, playing a match, winning a game for us with a goal. So that trust level in our physical conditioning department just isn't there, and you see it in a comment from Ori that says, is that Burgess fellow that we just hired that is supposed to be the guru there, is he also injured? Because that's where we're at. So there's always this element of playing with fire that makes us overthink it. But overall,
it wasn't anything special. Just usual worries, casual worries from each match that those guys would get injured.
Yeah, it's just a little more
special
because of everything with Bremer when you talk about confidence that he brings. And you see that on the pitch immediately. Rugani or Cabal, no disrespect to them coming in and getting injured again, is a whole different ball game than Glace and Bremer. Because if Bremer gets hurt and goes out, and Omar, you're muted. We're losing you, so.
Me?
Yeah, you were talking and you were muted. So nonetheless,
okay,
we got the middle of the park. McKennie, Locatelli, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso. Miretti did not start this matchup. Chico, Yildiz, and Openda. The other one was Openda that was in question. And Paulo had some feelings about going with David. And again, David, Chico, Yildiz, probably the best as a three together. But I defended the decision from Spalletti because I expected Mancini to be in the heart of the back three for Roma. He obviously played as right center back, but even with him to the right there, that brand coming from the back there, I thought, I could make sense of why Spalletti would go with Openda because of the speed and the physicality and probably fighting fire with a little bit of fire when it came to that aggression. And it paid dividends. We'll get to that, obviously. But whether it's David or Openda, I always said, and I defended both players, what we do as a group needs to get better and needed to improve. And I think that a lot of the deficiencies that Juve had kind of got squashed yesterday. And we can see that these guys are capable of playing a really solid brand of football. So David, Openda, whatever, I didn't have a problem with that either. Guys, your thoughts on the rest of the lineup? Any issues going into it? I thought it was a solid lineup. Cliff.
Hey, you know my feeling. Oh, sorry, Omer, you go first.
Okay. It's nothing we haven't talked about. Like we sort of knew that this team can do a lot better and play just a better brand of football. And interesting what Spalletti has done with this team. It was much more calculated, interesting, and we'll get to more match analysis later on. But in general, like those guys are starting to get into rhythm, starting to understand the league better, both David and Openda. And to be honest, I have no one like to point out that was bad. They all did a great job. They worked like a unit. The chemistry was a lot better, and Juve could have finished with 3-4 goals with better finishing. And saying that while playing against the best defense in the league so far, who haven't conceded 2 goals in any match this season in the league. And that's a credit to you. That's why I'm fantastic, as I said in the beginning.
Yeah. Cliff, want to touch on that quick before we fire through the highlights?
Yeah, I got to say in the comments, Alex just mentioned it. I didn't want to say anything, but I think I might be Spalletti's secret weapon. I think that might be the case. Since I've come back, we've been on a roll. No, I'm just kidding. When I look at this team and how they've been playing, I saw flashes in the first few matches. I think we're starting to see Spalletti's brand of football. really start to be integrated into this team, and the players seem to start to be understanding how he wants to play really quick 1-2s. The flow looks a lot better the way we're passing and building up play. To the Openda and David question, I've always been in the camp of Openda. I think the space that he allows other players to get in with his pace, taking defenders with him, is undeniable. And he puts us in the best positions to score goals, whether it's him getting in scoring opportunities or opening up space for his teammates or setting up his teammates for goals. I think he is our best number 9 at the moment, even though I don't consider him a true number 9. He opens up the space in that front three like David can't, like Dusan can't. He just allows the team to flow a lot better, interchanging between Yildiz and Chico on the right and Zhigrova as well. So that's my take. I love Openda. I think he should, after this match, it has solidified it for me. I think he should be getting more of the minutes, more of like a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split between him and David.
Yeah, I don't know about that one when I'm talking about. I still think David has the best movement out of all three. Openda's just got the pace and the wheels, but he got caught a few times by Zolkowski at the back there, where I expect him to win those battles on the outside. If that's your game, you have to take it to the opponent, and
agree.
That's
credit.
Like it's got to come through. He did some good things, but again, when I see certain elements from the team that were being done, and we'll get into it as we break down the highlights and then the player performances, when I see some other things start to happen, it's not that Openda made that happen. It's the rest of the team that I think you plug and play a guy that moves better. I think overall better. When I say moves better in David, it's the spaces he occupies and at when he occupies them are better for the others. But there's a lot that played into this game that kind of flew under the radar for people, which is normal because we were so hyped up that we won another big game. But let's get into this.
He's a nuisance, yeah. He's a big nuisance.
Yeah, he's very twitchy too. He's very different.
And shout out to Zerkowski. He had a great game. I mean, he's an 18-year-old defender.
Kind of surprised me. I gotta say, kind of surprised me. But
write his name down, man.
Let's get into this.
Juve.
A lot of the first half tight and chippy, probably opening half hour. And you probably felt like at that point, this could be a 1-0 game, like many anticipated, because it was just tight, chippy. It lacked consistency in calls as well for a period of time at the start where you're like, okay, some things are going, other things are getting shut down, and it kind of was just this weird matchup as it went on. So Roma did actually have a good fair share of ball for that opening half hour, and I was kind of like, okay, guys, like, we weren't showing too much respect, though. I felt good from a pressure level defensively. They didn't really get much going. They had attempts, but nothing that really concerned me, and that had a lot to do with Bremer. Bremer was just ridiculous. And that's the Bremer we love to see back there. As the half went on, Juve did start to grow into this thing. Thuram with a beautiful through ball to Openda, and this is something I have been hard on Thuram for, starting to get involved higher up the pitch. Again, you take the strikers out of the equation, getting up there and start threading the damn needle on some of these plays. Beautiful ball. Openda in the end tried to dish it over rather than go. Svilar, credit to him, he was on it quickly. He got out there very, very fast. Openda, rather than try to pop it over him, he tries to slide it over to McKennie. Didn't have enough heat on it, and it gets cut out. But big moment there. And from there, we continued to grow. 42nd minute, you get a great play with Yildiz and Chico, who both of them were so dangerous in that game yesterday. Both of them looked fantastic. And Yildiz actually sends it through to Chico. He could not put it past Svilar. Then Openda fires the rebound high and wide. But it's okay, because a minute later, we just go right back at him. It's the same guys involved, Chico and Yildiz, slides it over to him. Cambiaso, who we'll talk about performances afterwards, he gets into the area. This is a cheeky little backheel touch right to Chico, who takes an extra touch and then buries far side. This was a beautiful goal. Beautiful, beautiful goal. This is exactly what you want from all these guys. I don't want Yildiz or Chico pinned. So Chico, where is he? In the center of the pitch to start this whole thing. Yildiz occupying the left side. And where's Cambiaso? Cambiaso bombs forward, becomes an option. And the one thing that has been missing from Cambiaso for so long, that little touch of flair. And you see it on this goal with the presence of mind to take a lovely, quick one-touch backheel pass to Chico, and he does the rest. Guys, that's what we want to see. Beautiful stuff.
That's Spalletti. That's Spalletti ball, and I think that's, again, like what I said before, is now we're seeing that brand coming to life. We're seeing the players understanding the ideas, understanding how he wants to play. And credit to Chico, because I called him a donkey when he missed the first chance, and then he made up for it in the next play. So it's so funny. He finished a more difficult chance on the second one than the first one. But, I mean, credit to the team, credit to him. Great finish, great goal. We were just pelting Svilar with just shots all match, and I love to see it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal to see.
Yeah, it was just the first half in general, like it was controlled. It seems like to be the way Spalletti likes to play so far. I'm like noticing a theme here. He lets the other team play, but he's in control because, like you said, Roma barely had anything. They held on to the ball a lot, but they couldn't create good chances. And then he picks it up later on, especially in the second half. So a goal before the halftime is one of my favorites. Great for team morale and boosting them into the second half. So, yeah, I thought that was a great half from Juve, really controlled.
We're going to machine gun the second half. The second half started off fantastic from Juve. I mean, 51st minute, Yildiz driving forward, a give and go. He ends up hitting it, just missing the back post on a left-footed shot there from Svilar's right. 52nd minute, a minute later, Yildiz hits Chico on a through ball. And Chico, by the time he battled through the defender, all he tried to do was backheel it beyond Svilar. It popped up. Nobody was there to clean up the rebound or anything. But we are all over them. We're looking really, really good. Chico and Yildiz, again, just constants in this one. 69th minute, we did have a sub. 60th minute, we talked about Bremer leaving, Rugani coming in. You also got a little bit later Chico taken off, and there was concern there about his hamstring as he was clenching it and came off. Zhigrova enters. 69th minute, great ball in from Zhigrova. This thing was right on the money, and McKennie attacked it again. Too close to Svilar. Still a big save in point blank like that. So good stop from Svilar. Rebound. McKennie battles for it and just slides it over to Openda. And he actually misses his front foot. Hits his back planted foot and still goes in. But who gives a shit? They just need to cross the line and go in there. And to be fair, he deserved to be rewarded for the performance that he put in this game. So there's your second one. Guys, I'm stoked. 100%. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Wrap it up. I'm like, 2 goals. This thing's done. Roma's got no sniff. Gasperini, excuse me, that little Keebler elf, he reacted, made a bunch of changes. You got Dybala and Sule coming off, okay? And you got Baldanzi coming in, Ferguson coming in. And if Ferguson, and I said it from the start, strange play from Gasperini to play Dybala up top as your target. I go, if Ferguson could have given you more off the start, it probably would have given us more troubles because of how he plays. Dybala trying to be a target against Bremer, I'll take that matchup all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Physically, absolutely dominated. But he came in, 75th minute, Zhigrova with a costly turnover. Wesley stripping him there. It was a little too nonchalant. Probably the only blip I had in this game. We unfortunately couldn't shut it down. Ferguson gets a shot. The rebound, back post, Baldanzi just stretches out to get a touch to it into an empty cage. I still hate the goals we concede. And Zhigrova, you just can't lose that one there. You just can't lose that one there.
One thing I was going to say on that, Obviously, Zhiganova really showed out in the match. My one gripe with him is he needs to have the awareness near the end of that match to know when to play the ball back and to just keep the possession going instead of trying to always go forward. I love that he wants to go forward and be attacking minded, but there's a time and place to do so when you have that lead. That's when you want to calm things down, kill some clock, shut this game down. So I think that's the one gripe I have with him. So it's an unfortunate one to concede.
It's almost like a complete flip to most of our players who have been struggling for confidence. This guy that barely plays is overconfident, and it's like so nonchalant that it's like it takes him away from situations and plays. He had several moments where it's like, dude, you are trying to do way too much. We're winning this game. Just keep it simple. Like we're in a management mode at 2-0. No need to get crazy. But skill, as far as skill and talent goes, I mean, yeah, he's got it. And at the same token, he played a part in our second goal with a money cross, right? So it's like you take some of the good with some of the bad, but I would fail to believe Spalletti didn't have a discussion with him over the moments and the situations there. Omer.
I don't think I don't want to make a big deal out of it, because when I got on Twitter or X later, I saw too many accounts like lingering on that one mistake. And let's not forget, Juve won this match, and it took Roma a huge mistake at the back to get into it, and even that was from a deflection. So yeah, he had a mistake. He didn't get into the rhythm of the game. Like he was playing like it's really the beginning of the match, and the match was already at high speed, and Roma were chasing. But that's easily fixable. Like eventually, like you said, he had a huge part in the second goal, and he gave one back. But at the end of the day, Juve won, and they can fix it. It's just simple instructions and getting him fired up when he comes in. So yeah, I don't want to linger on it and make it like that. That was
I gotta
the
say
big
though,
point
it's a blip for me. I'm not talking about just solely this game. Zhiganova, the minutes we've seen from him, it is a very overconfident, nonchalant-esque player. Like he is a nonchalant-esque type player. There's going to be issues situationally if he doesn't ramp that up. He's also started a match for us, and it was the same. Like, I don't think, like, it can't happen. I know this guy that, whatever, we don't want to make a big thing. Overall, the performance was solid. But if we're going to actually critique these players and we're going to critique these things, I don't care if it's Zhiganova or anybody else that comes into that game. You enter that game, like, there's things that you just can't do. You're putting your team at a disadvantage. You're making that mistake was brutal. If that was a 1-0 game, let's say, like, it's not 2-0, he probably does the exact same thing. And then you're 1-1. Now, all of a sudden, it's a bigger thing. So I hate saying that we won, let's not put a big thing on. He's got it. I just need more from him when it comes to urgency. I need to see a little bit more. I don't know if it's the shorts because he run around looking like he took a dump in them. He can't move his legs quick enough. Pick it up, man. Pick it up. That's all I ask.
You know what I'll
urgency.
Say?
Urgency.
You know what I'll say? I think if we see a trend of this more and it doesn't get fixed and doesn't get addressed, then it'll become more of a concern in my mind. For now, I'm happy with the win.
Yeah,
and Spalletti talked about it. Spalletti said,
Yeah.
he goes, you know what? You lose, and we'll get into it, but he's like, you lose something when you take Chico off the pitch because of, and he said even with Yildiz, he combined Yildiz and Chico in all the extras, and he said that is what you lose when you have Zhiganova there. So it's not kind of like this thing we could just sweep under the rug. We'll talk about it after when you talk about player evaluations. But again, we did make it through. We actually almost closed it out 4 minutes later. Locatelli, you could tell there's Locatelli hate because even when he slots it over to Yildiz there, Openda, credit to him, makes the right run, takes his defenders, pretty much becomes a decoy. Loca puts it over to Yildiz, who is in a 1v1 situation, running at a defender top of the area. You know he's hated when they're like, why would you pass it to him and not Openda? Yeah, let's just pump the brakes there, okay?
That was me. I said that, by the way. I was one of those people.
You're going to take a shot. We're going to take a shot at a potential offside through ball for Openda rather than give it to Yildiz, who's red hot today, 1v1, who then puts one off the post there.
Yeah.
It was all good. I wish it went in for Yildiz because he also had a solid game. It goes off the post. We get through anyways. It ends there. It's 2-1. Ultimately, man, awesome stuff. When you start looking at this run of form, 6 wins now in the last 7, all competitions, my one main feeling that I leave this game with was that it's like this is a couple games now where you start to get the feeling that there is true progress. There's true progress. And the reason is because when you were getting wins earlier on, even in this streak, there was a lot of questions still. There's a lot of questions and there was a lot of feelings like, I still don't know so much about this team. But now when you have solid performances where you are the deserved winner, I think it's safe to say there is legitimate progress. So for me, I think there is true progress coming through with Spalletti and this group. Now.
Yeah, Juve completely, okay, I don't want to say completely dominated, but Juve were the better teams against
Better team.
top 2 opponents that we had issues with and are above us in the table, and that was 2 successive, very impressive performances from the team. So yeah, I can definitely see growth. I can definitely see the team getting better. And credit to Spalletti, the words he says, the way he manages the team, the way he rotates, his subs are on point. I mean, there are a lot of things to say, and maybe that's what you get with an experienced manager. Maybe that's exactly what you've needed instead of going on adventures with all the rest. Tudor is a special case. Motta, Pirlo, man, that's it seems to be like what Juve needs right now.
You know what I'll say too? People have really early on gave Spalletti a lot of grief about his subs. He clearly knows what he's doing when he's putting these subs on. You could see there's an idea. He understands the game. He knows what the game dictates and what it needs. So I really appreciate his subs.
That would definitely be a part of the progress. Like, it's starting to make sense. Like, you can start to feel the connection there, and that, yeah, the reads that he is starting to make are the right ones. When it comes to starting lineup over this stretch, the only blip is that Napoli game. I'll still never understand why you go into that game with no striker.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, boom, he's been spot on, and he's been spot on with substitutions. And that took a while to get going. That's why I still say now it feels like there's true progress because his subs feel on time. They make sense. They're right. And his calls on starts have been getting rewarded. It's a couple games outside of the Napoli blip there. But again, I think it's the right thing. To touch on Omer's point, I said the same thing in the pre-match yesterday. I like how he's treating all the players because he is offering praise, but then he pulls back on the leash and just gives them that little choke like, even against Napoli with Yildiz. People attacked him, saying, this is the shit that's going to cause Yildiz to leave this team. He's the only guy that scores against Napoli, blah, 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 and you say he could still do more. Well, Spalletti said, Yildiz is incredible, but we haven't seen he's capable of even more. So he's giving you praise, but he's keeping all these players in check. It's exactly what they need to be kept on their toes. I love it. Guys, stats and ratings, let's get into all the goods now as we've covered the match, okay? So when you look at the stats in this game, some people were telling me they didn't like the first half. I'll be quite honest. I liked the entire game, and I thought we were the better side. I think we were unfortunate not to have 3 goals at least in this game, potentially even 4. 59% possession in favor of Roma. They had 14 total attempts with 1 big chance. Obviously, the chance that they buried. Juve had 13 total attempts with 6 big chances to score. Goalkeeper saves, Svilar had to make 7. There was also a rocket absolute piss missile of a volley from Cambiaso that if it's like a foot over to the side, Svilar doesn't even friggin' come close. We had chances all over this place to make this an absolute rout. And again, this was a team that hasn't conceded multiple goals in a game this season. And we could have had 4, if we're being honest. So great performance. It was a fantastic performance. When you look at the ratings, this is where it ended. And now we're going to get into the performance discussions and just the team overall. 6.6 for Di Gregorio, 6.8 for Kalulu, 7.2 for Bremer, subbed at the 60th minute. Kelly at 6.6. McKennie, 7.9 with the helper on what ended up being the game-winning goal. Locatelli, 7.3. Thuram, 6.9. Cambiaso, 7.2. Chico Conceicao, 7.5. Yildiz, 7.8. And Openda, 7.4. Your official man of the match was Chico Conceicao. Fellas, who was your man of the match in this game? Omar, we'll start with you.
I gotta say, that's one of the toughest ones because I was impressed with a lot of the performances. I can easily pick Kelly or Bremer. I think Kalulu had a weaker match by his standards. Thuram and Locatelli were beasts. They control the midfield. McKennie, Openda. I mean, I could pick any one. Like 9 out of 11 would not be wrong. But on who scored, they actually gave it to Cambiaso, based on more advanced statistics. So I want to go with that. We gave him a lot of shit recently.
Who gave it to Cambiaso?
Who scored?
Oh, who scored?
Yeah. We gave him a lot of shit lately, and we were asking for him to pick it up and start looking like a Juventus fullback. And in that game, it was phenomenal. Most touches and assists, was heavily involved, joined the midfield, didn't miss a beat in defense, was never missing from that flank. So yeah, credit where it's due. I can give it to anyone. I want to give it to Cambiaso because, one hand slaps, the other one, what's the word? Caresses.
Yeah. Nice. Cliff.
I like that. For me, it's so hard because I think everybody played so well, and I think this is another example of when Bremer's healthy, why we miss him so much, because that back line, when it's solidified, Cambiaso has the freedom to go up and join the attack and really be like an extra attacker. McKennie got involved. I'm so done with the McKennie hate. I'm so sick of it. Like, I've been singing this man's praises for so long. He is irreplaceable in this team. So many good things from him. I'm going to give it to Chico because he ended up scoring such a big goal for us. But I think McKennie deserves a massive shout. And I think you've always been saying it, Al. He plays really well as that right wing back. He plays really well in that role, and I think that's where he should be playing. And then if the game dictates for him to shift inward, perfectly fine. But I love him on that right wing back position because he is an engine. He's a Lichtsteiner. He's a Asamoah. He's one of those types of players who just gives you everything no matter where you put him in the team.
Yeah, it's I had several players up there in the mix for me. I had Chico, I had Openda, I had McKennie, and I had Locatelli. Bremer is a good shout too, even with just 60 minutes to this game. But I thought those 4 probably stood out a little bit more for me. In the end, I actually give it to Openda because life hasn't kicked off the way that it should for him or David or any of these new guys. And I've been the one that has been adamant about just let's fix our deficiencies as a team. And I think you'll see more come out of the individuals. All of a sudden, you get 2 solid performances. Where's all the talk that this roster is shit? Where's all this talk that this roster isn't good enough? When it's been clear as day when you are not playing good football as a team that obviously these guys are capable of more and have been capable of more. For whatever reason, they just haven't been able to find it. But the fundamentals have escaped this team for too long that play a big part in letting us believe that They're just not that good, but I just have failed to believe that. Openda had a fantastic shift. I'm happy he scored the goal. It was well-deserved, and I'm going to give him the man of the match because he was a handful for Roma through its entirety of his minutes out there until David came in for the sub. So Openda gets it for me. Some of these other guys we are going to spend a little time talking about. Chico Conceicao was very close for me. He was the official one, given it by obviously Serie A. When it comes to Chico Conceicao, might be McKennie for Cliff, and we will talk about McKennie, okay? I'm done listening to the hate on Chico Conceicao. I'm absolutely done with it. I'm done with the fact that people just do not want to give him the props for how critical he actually is to this Juve side right now. Okay, I'm done hearing about he's not good enough for Juve. He's unintelligent. He's predictable. He's not worth 40 million euros. All week I had to listen to people cry about Sule. We let go of Sule. We paid 40 for Chico. Dude, watch that game yesterday and tell me you would rather have that soft bottom feeder Sule who only shows up against shit teams. Okay? That guy is a Timu Dybala. Bottom line. Okay? He's a Timu version of Dybala. I will take Chico. I will take Chico every day and twice on Sunday. Give the kid his props, because if our bigger statured players played with the amount of tenacity and balls of Chico Conceicao, we would have an absolute steamroller of a fucking team. I love Chico Conceicao. He's worth every penny so far. He gives you 150% for every second he is on the pitch. And I am happy to have him for that price tag. I don't care. If we continue to grow as a team, you have only just scratched the surface of what Conceicao can actually do.
That was the best TED Talk. Best TED Talk I've ever been to.
Lads, love the rants always. Yeah, it's just hard not to love the guy. He puts in 150%.
I think he's the transfer of the season.
One.
I will go.
I think it's.
I will go as far to say that there was a point in time where you could put Zhigrova and Chico there and understand that more talent, more skillful player is Zhigrova, but now through the work that we've seen, it is not going to be easy for Zhigrova, even if he is 100%. It is not going to be easy for him to get that spot from Chico. Yildiz ain't going anywhere, and now I think Chico's the main, and it's going to be a hell of a task for Zhigrova. I don't think it's a given by any means, and Spalletti, he said it. He goes, Chico and Yildiz give you so much outside of their normal offensive abilities that they help in the back. We saw Yildiz with countless great backtracks where he won the ball for Juve as well, doing the same thing Chico did. He goes, you lose that with Zhigrova, and we have to find a way to manage it. I don't think Chico's going anywhere, and he needs his props. That's just me, boys.
Yeah, you don't get engine players like that. Purpose. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Omer. I was going to say that I think Chico and McKennie, like, you get engine players like that, you can't replace people who, like, just constantly move, constantly are twitchy, constantly ready to go. Like, you can't just replace those guys very easily. So when everybody's like, oh, sell McKennie, Chico's not good enough, you don't get players with that high of an engine that often, like, who care this much. So you need to keep them in any way you can in the side.
First of all, I really like his mentality. The way he plays on the pitch, the way he runs, the way he's not baffled by missing a goal or whatever. He just keeps at it, like sort of immune to everything that's happening around him. I really love watching him play. I think he's an important, really important piece of that team. And he's absolutely, it's not even a question, the starter on the right flank. I think also that chemistry with McKennie is really starting to blossom. And the coverage they get from Kalulu, who allows them to push forward, is great as well. So yeah, I really like what I'm seeing, and you know how people like to make judgments on purchases before guys have ever played, just because of the price tag, and you'll never know.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Now,
So yeah, props to Chico.
props to Chico. Little Cheeks. No, we got rid of that. Justin's still upset about it, but we got rid of it. Chico. Now, there was a bit of a masterstroke in there I hinted at before, and you can even enter this guy into the mix for man of the match, and that's Luciano Spalletti. Could be thrown into man of the match for Juve for pulling all the right strings, making the right calls. The way Locatelli was used yesterday, and it also helped Cambiaso because Locatelli dropped back, essentially making 4-man back when we were on the ball. Cambiaso was given freedom, and he ended up being a player in the midfield, and that added some dynamic play to the midfield and helped us. This was as close that we've seen in a very long time to the Cambiaso that we've been waiting for since those rumors to City. That's as close as we've been to it for a very, very long time, you guys. Were there mistakes in there by him? Yes. But there's a few mistakes here from everybody. Overall, that is the Cambiaso we need. Involved, getting up forward and looking for some flair offensively to come through and help us create chances. That was a beautiful masterstroke from Spalletti in how we used Locatelli. And Locatelli had a fantastic performance. When he needed to get rid of the ball immediately, he did. And he was sending Openda with these 50-50s, battling Zolkowski, who, again, Omer gave credit to, and I agree with him. He had a good performance. But Loca was pulling all the right strings at the same time. Great touch on it from Spalletti. And that's the way we got to do it. Now, in terms of this, that masterstroke, what we saw tactically, what happens with Koopmeiners when he comes back?
Well, to use, I can take exactly what you just said and put it on Thuram as well for that match. Everything you said about Cambiaso, and we need those guys firing. What happens with Koopmeiners? My guess is that Bremer won't start the next match against Pisa, and he'll get some extra rest and come in like the 60th minute or whatever. So Koopmeiners, my guess is he'll be back in defense. What happens afterwards? I think if Bremer is fully fit, Spalletti can finally make the transition to like the 4-4-2 he wants, the 4-3-3 he wants to play. And then we'll see him in midfield.
We got to ask the question. Do you even change it if it's going to end up being a 4-man backline on possession? Should we continue just to groom the roles that these players are in? So the reason I bring in Koopmeiners is like, what's going to be the role? Should he stay as a left center back, but then he'd be occupying left back in possession as Cambiaso moves into the midfield? Or do you throw him back into the midfield and you rotate him in the 3 with Thuram and Locatelli? I'd probably go that route, to be honest, and utilize him as a switch up with Thuram. I'm seriously questioning if we should change now that there's serious momentum being built. Cliff, should we change?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think Coop has shown enough where I could justify starting him in this lineup. I've seen more from Kelly, seen more from Kalulu. Obviously, we've seen way more from Bremer. I like the idea, like you said, like in this match, I loved seeing Locatelli drop more in and making that essentially a 4-back because he seems to be very well suited for that role, keeping the composure in the back line, the possession, the calmness back there, and being able to distribute. I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I think Coop should be coming off the bench. That's the point I want to make. He's not good enough to be starting in this team when everybody is fully fit and playing well. I think the one thing that sits in the back of Spalletti's mind is the price tag, but at this point, I don't think you can let price tag dictate if a player should be starting or not.
I'm also looking at it more as an opponent-based thing, because if you're going to play a team that you anticipate to park the bus, I'd probably play Koopmeiners as a left center back in the setup and let him get advanced from there. And you could still have Taram, who we want pulling strings higher up. Still have Loka to stabilize things. I'd probably go that route and look at it from there before throwing him into the midfield. Kelly's doing a good job. I think if you're going to play a straight-up game with a team that you expect to be 50-50 in terms of contention, in terms of possession and going at each other, I'd probably say Kelly, Bremer, Kalulu is the back three. And then you go from there. But
Yeah,
the setup,
it's a problem. It's a problem, but it's a good problem to have. And honestly, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind because Coop was doing very well and he offered something a bit different. I would love to rest Kelly and Kalulu a bit, so maybe use him for that. Maybe Kelly can rest next game and just, so we won't risk any injuries or whatever because we're already thin. Now Cabal and Rugani and Gatti is still out. So keep him safe, keep him healthy.
yeah.
Afterwards, I have no idea. My issue with the 4-3-3 is that I see no room for McKennie. And he's killing it right now. He's on form, man. I want him in there. So, yeah, maybe keeping it the way it is the way to go.
Weston McKennie with his 200th appearance and had one hell of a match yesterday. I've said it a million times over. This guy plays good from the outside for me. And you're right. It gives you another thing to think about when it comes to West, because he's got to play on the outside. In the middle of the park, it's not the same effect. It doesn't translate for me. He's an outside player. The latest rumors, 3.6 million. We talked a bit about it on the pregame show yesterday. Obviously, you fellas weren't with me, so I'm going to ask you the question. Do you think that's fair? Would you re-sign him at that price tag of 3.6 million? Do you see McKennie as somebody, should Juve re-sign him? Like renew him?
Net? 3.6 net?
3.6 take home for him, yeah.
No issues. No issues. Do it.
You asked me, Al, a couple shows ago, you asked me if you wanted 5 mil, would I give it to him? No. Would I give him at 3.6? Absolutely. I mean, you can't replace a player like him, and at that wage, I think it's completely fair for what he brings to the team. And you can't replace a player like that. So easy 3.6 for me. But the contingency with that we spoke about is get Yildiz done first. Yeah. Sign your star player first, and then McKennie. Yeah. And then I have no problem with that.
Is he a starter for Juve right now?
In this team? Yeah. McKennie's he's irreplaceable in this team.
If you're playing this setup for me right now, absolutely.
So what's 3.6 compared to the other starters?
Yeah.
I don't really have any issues. The guy's been here for like 6 years, and now he's finally becoming what we hope he'd become. So that's the time to keep him, not sell him, for me.
Yeah, it's 3.6 is not terrible by any means. I was, like he's around 2.5 right now. I'm thinking like, if you're a rotational guy, 4-3-3 is the game plan, and then he's in the mix there. 3.6 based on where we're at with other players and salaries. It's kind of like right on the cusp. If he's playing on the outside here, man, he prevents you from having to go out and shop. Who knows what the salary is there on certain guys. Like, look at depth. He also presents you with an opportunity to get depth in the team. Mm-hmm. On a renewal of 3.6, right?
And another point which it's I want your reaction to. If, let's say he goes, okay, you need to replace him, right? How many players do you need to replace McKennie? And how much would they cost?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's always devil's in the details. Like, he goes, who comes in? And can you make that other signing while keeping him? Because depth would be big. Like, rotational guys are key, and that's where I start to look at it like, damn, I don't want to pay a rotational guy 3.6 net, but at the same time, if you're playing him on the outside on this current roster, he's a starter. So all of a sudden, 3.6 for a starter, if he can replicate these performances throughout, that's not bad at all. So for me, moving forward, the rest of the season, I want to see him as the outside locked in player. Let's go with that and then judge, right? So happy for him, happy for the 200 appearances. I mean, it's a guy that's always, no matter what we say as fans, he's always gained the trust of his coaches and become a key cog, no matter who that coach was. So credit to him, and I'm happy for him on the 200 appearances. Spalletti, we talked about the master stroke with Locatelli. Today, there was a statement made by a journalist, okay, Riccardo Meloni, and he claims that Juventus must kick off 2026-27 with the renewal, the extension of Spalletti. He must be given trust and full support. They must give it to him at the beginning of 26-27. So happy New Year, Lucky Luciano. Should we give him the extension immediately?
I would.
Let's see after this Pisa game.
Based
One
on
more
what
game
we've
for
seen,
okay, one more game. Give me Pisa. Omar, you think just do it?
based on what we've seen, the way he manages the team, compare it to the amount of wins we had early in the year. Like, he already surpassed that in like 10 matches. And aside from that blip against Napoli, which he got wrong, and that's fine, it happens. I mean, he's been pretty flawless, to be honest. Juve won the games they needed. We now, in a shout out from the Scudetto race, we're in the Coppa Italia, and we need one more win. Even a draw might be enough to make it through in the Champions League. So why not? Isn't that everything we asked for?
Yeah. I have a tough time.
I need one more win. I need one more win against Pisa, and then I'm happy.
Okay, you'll get your win against Pisa.
I have a tough time with this one because I kind of want, like, I don't want it to be like Juve being like, okay, that's it. That's all it takes. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want them to be like, well, it shouldn't take just this.
I get it.
I also don't want Spalletti to feel like we're thinking about other options or other alternatives. I mean, I would just I don't think it absolutely has to be done to start off 26-27. I feel like you just have a word and just you're in constant contact as ownership and be like, we're really happy so far. We're going to sit down and talk at season's end to work out the details of continuing. But fantastic work so far. Keep it up. Why can't it be that? Why does it have to be you got to lock it in? You can offer strength and support without going to that route immediately, right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I was going to say the only thing for me is I think if you get Champions League, I think that solidifies it for me. If you make it to the next stage, I think that's where it's okay, this is a must have. You need to lock it in. I think right now we haven't seen the full Spalletti effect taking place, and I need to see a little bit more from him. But I agree with you, Al. It shouldn't be he needs to be signed beginning of the year, must get done. I don't think it needs to be like that. I think it needs to be a constant conversation. Hey, we're going in the right direction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not a must. It's just I wouldn't be opposed to it, and it also bears the question of what would have happened if he had a full preseason. Where would we be right now if he would have been appointed?
Give me the month of January, because give me that final three after this round of games. Give me that who is it? Monaco, Napoli, and Benfica. Is it Benfica?
Yeah, Benfica.
Give me Benfica, Napoli, Monaco. Give me the month of January at the end there, and I'll give you a definitive yes or no. And I have a feeling it's going to be yes. I have a feeling it's going to be yes.
If everybody's healthy, I think we see a full 360 in this next Napoli match. I think we see a huge difference in the way the side plays. So if everybody's healthy.
And I mean, honestly, we've been horrible at that horrible stadium. But you get to Allianz, and Juve is, we're a different beast this season, when it comes to the home matches versus the away matches. Juve sits at 5 wins, 3 draws, no losses at home. We're 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses away from home in Serie A. I am fully confident we will see a different matchup in that Napoli game, even if they have other individuals in that game or not. But yeah, the month of January, of course, we have to finish it up in 6 days' time with Pisa. Cliff just needs that game, and then he's going to say yes, Spalletti. Okay.
Correct.
Then we got Lecce, Sassuolo, Cremonese, Cagliari, and then, of course, Benfica, Napoli, Monaco. So this is the right time for Juve to hit stride. Okay. Pisa, Lecce, Sassuolo, Cremonese, Cagliari. That is very juicy for us to go on a healthy run and rack up some points. Right now, Juve obviously sitting in 5th spot, 29 points, 1 away from Roma. And then we are 4 off the top. And of course, the 3 sides at the top there in Inter, Milan, and Napoli have a game in hand. They were part of the Supercoppa there.
But I want to, let me read you out, because for me, it should be 15 out of 15 points from these matches. Now, Inter schedule, they play Atalanta away next, Bologna at home, Parma away, Napoli at home, and then Lecce. Okay, Milan are playing Verona at home, Cagliari away, Genoa at home, Fiorentina, and Como. And Napoli, they're playing Inter, obviously. They're playing Bologna, Cremonese, Lazio, Inter, and Verona. So they don't all have easy routes, and they play each other. So there's a real chance in these next 5 matches to throw Juve back in the Scudetto race.
There are also none of them that are convincing, which is why I say it's just like this thing is going to be wide open. It's going to be wide open for me.
This is Juve's chance to take this league by the scruff of the neck and say, hey, we're back. This is their opportunity to do this. And if they don't take it,
well,
if they don't take this moment, this is fully on them. It's fully on Spalletti. They need to take this opportunity.
Well, listen here. Chico Conceicao says we're back. We're back in the talks. Are we back in the talks for you?
I
need that Pisa win.
Maybe not for us.
Maybe
not for us. But other teams are looking down. Are looking down the table, and they're starting to notice Juve and be wary of them. So maybe we are trying to play it, safe and one game at a time, but be sure they're looking down the table. And
Omer, you're right. They're looking down the stairs. They're looking down the stairs, and they see the old lady starting to come up the stairs. They're getting a little bit nervous.
With that shoe, and they can throw it like a freaking, oh man. The old lady with that shoe that she just beans you from 20 meters away, back of the dome when you're in trouble. Yeah, PTSD from childhood. Look, my nonna, she could huck that slipper, man. It was like a ninja star, okay? I tell you.
Like a sniper.
Ooh.
Oh, sniper indeed. Listen, are we back? We are back in the discussion, okay? And this is something that we talked about previously, and it's fitting that Omer's on the show because Omer had a beautiful statement about having hope. And like, for me, the hope comes from the fact that I don't see anybody else that's convincing. And I also see a team that is grossly underachieving for what they're capable of. And that's how I've always looked at this Juve side. Now we have wins that are deserved wins, which tells you that the performances are actually making progress. They're not wins where you're like, we really shouldn't have had that win, but we got it. We're happy for it. No. Like, it's definitely moving in the right direction. 6 wins out of your last 7 all comps. We had gone through, 5 wins in the first 16 in all comps? It's a drastic turnaround. And again, you're always in the mix and in the discussion when you have a period where you're 2 wins out of like 13 games and you're still amongst the top of the league. Now, where our form's at, the progression that we've made, 4 points out, they have some tough, tricky games. Yeah, we're in the talks. We're in the talks and we're in the mix, okay? and they hate it.
Yeah.
That's why media's going to start jumping on all sorts of storylines and all sorts of shit, because they know, watch out, that old lady's coming. She's around the corner, and she's got that slipper in her hand that she's going to chuck like a fucking ninja star. Let's go.
I'm worried about the wooden spoon. I don't know about you. I'm worried about getting the wooden spoon, if anything else.
That damn wooden spoon, that was a doozy too, I tell you. Damn wooden spoon.
And I want to calm Suarez down. I don't have any Chiesa banter today or whatever. So, yeah, you can watch it calmly. He's been commenting about it from the beginning of the show.
Calm. And now, that's actually probably the perfect segue as we enter the bald statements. All right? Bald statement, Omer segment, and we're going to have some fun here, everybody. I love the bald statements. Okay. And disclaimer, you don't need a disclaimer because you guys know we're pulling these from socials, okay? They're not reflection of Omer's opinion unless he states so. So, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So, I wasn't supposed to be on the show today, so I didn't have a whole list. So I did something else interesting, okay? Because I'll have the list next time. What I did is I took groupings of a few players in a certain position, and you have to choose the pairing you want and make a starting 11 out of it. Do you get what I'm saying? I have 3 options for each position. You have to choose a pair.
Okay.
Okay. So goalkeeper was unnecessary because it's Buffon. So let's go. Fullbacks. Who would you choose? Zambarota and Birindelli, Lichtsteiner and Asamoah, or Torricelli and Pesotto?
Sorry, give me the first one again.
Zambrota and Birindelli.
Zambrota and Birindelli.
Oh, I'm gonna go Lichtsteiner or Asamoah because that was my time.
If Zambrota's in there out of all those ones, and the close second for me is Torricelli Pesotto.
Those are the pairing that won us the last Champions League.
Yeah. But
okay.
I'd go
so
Zambrota and Birindelli.
Okay. So
I'm too young, I guess.
Next. Those were fullbacks. Center backs. Chiellini Bonucci, Montero Ferrara, or Cannavaro Thuram.
Oh my God.
I knew you'd have a tough one with it because you like Ferrara so much.
I loved Ferrara. Juve was an animal. And Ferrara Montero was such a duo, man. Chiellini is an absolute monster. Chiellini Bonucci. But Cannavaro Thuram too, man. Oh. God, man.
It's going to have to be Cannavaro and Thuram for me. Even though I've only watched some of them, it's got to be them. Just off legendary status alone.
Okay. Alberto.
Oh, man. Oh. Give me Chiellini and Bonucci.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that from you, Al.
I love Chiellini, man. Giorgio Chiellini is one of my all-timers.
I do too.
I'll take Bonucci just to have Chiellini.
Okay. Are you ready? We're ramping it up. Now, midfield 3. You have Pirlo Vidal Pogba, David Stachinardi Zidane, or Deschamps Conte Di Livio.
Give me Zidane. What was it? Zidane, David.
Zidane, Davidson Tachinardi.
Easily.
Give me Pirlo, Pogba, Vidal.
Zizou's different gravy, man. You give me the Pitbull, Edgar Davids as well. Oh fuck, lights out.
So
man.
this is where you see the generational difference. Al got to watch all those guys in their prime. I did not. Dude. So the old heads are gonna come for me.
I love Pirlo. I loved that midfield and everything, but my goodness, man, you give me Zizou and Davids like alone. I don't even need the third. Yeah. Just insane.
Okay. And your trio in attack: Nedved, Trezeguet, and Del Piero, Dybala, Mandzukic, Higuain, or Vialli, Ravanelli, Baggio.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
I didn't watch half of these guys play, so I can't. It's very tough for me.
My first attacking trident of being a Juve fan, okay, Baggio, Vialli, and Ravanelli. Like, that's where it all started. And then, obviously, Del Piero enters the fold, and I was fortunate to watch his entire career, Del Piero. This one fucking kills me because Baggio and Del Piero are the guys for me, man. I legitimately can't, man. If you're talking Ravanelli, Baggio, Vialli, or ADP, Nedved, and Trez, that kills me, man. That kills me.
You have to. You have to.
Do you need me to go first, Al, or do you want me to give you a minute?
Yeah, Cliff, go first.
I mean, again, I caught the tail end of their careers, but it's got to be Nedved, Trezeguet, and Del Piero. Like, I've watched like the old videos of those guys. Unbelievable how they linked up, and I'm gonna go with them because as good as Higuain, Dybala, and who was the third one?
Mandzukic.
No matter how good they were, like those guys were on another level back in the day.
Oh my God.
I know you're having a tough time leaving Del Piero out, but I think you made up your mind. I think that's where you have a really tough time.
Go with your heart.
I gotta go with ADP and Trez and Ned. Okay. And I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the time span that I've watched versus the others. But man, I absolutely loved Ravanelli, Vialli, and Baggio. It's insane. But I will take Del Piero, Trez, and Nedved.
So you want to hear your lineup?
If you put Tevez in there, it would have changed things for me because I love Tevez at Juve so much.
I knew who my audience was, and I knew how to make it difficult for them. So Alberto's lineup is Birindelli, Bonucci, Chiellini, Zambrotta, David, Stachinardi, Zidane, Nedved, Trez, Del Piero.
Oh.
And for Cliff, it's Lichtsteiner, Thuram, Cannavaro, Asamoah, Pirlo, Pogba, Vidal, Nedved, Trez, Del Piero.
Whose team's winning, chat? Whose team's winning that match? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, me, because I have Asamoah and Lichtsteiner. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
That would be such a fun match to watch. Imagine that matchup. That would have been unbelievable.
Well, yeah, because it would be crazy to see Del Piero, Trez, and Nedved acting as doubles, wearing the pinnies, playing for both squads.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
I would take Baggio, Vialli, and Ravanelli.
Dude, I have such a tough time, but like literally, Del Piero is like my guy, and I cannot leave him out. And I loved Roberto Baggio. He is. I have this claim, and it might be from my heart, okay? But I say if you take away that knee injury to Del Piero, he would have gone down as the best Italian player ever, period.
Could be. You want one bold statement?
Yeah.
Just one. In his prime, Roberto Carlos was better than Maldini.
Absolutely not.
You sure about that?
Yes, because I didn't watch either of them play, so yes.
Oh, so going off rumors.
I actually disagree. Correct. I disagree. Maldini for me. When you can be... overall, I'm just talking about like everything. Like when you're looking at Maldini and the fact that you could be all time in two positions is crazy to me. And the longevity, everything like Maldini for me, it's clear, and he was the better.
It's the longevity mainly. Also, Maldini was very defensive and best at defending, while Carlos was such a threat. He was such a beast, romping forward and scoring from impossible angles. I watched the recap of all Brazil's matches in the 2002 World Cup. man, that team was absolutely fucking insane. Rivaldo doesn't get the credit he deserves. Roberto Carlos was just. I was
if
like
you
awestruck. I
if
didn't
you're
remember them.
factoring in the offensive part of things, that's where the discussion can happen, where I could see people
Yeah.
are like, well, Carlos is better. But if you're actually like looking at the defending side of things, there was nobody. Like Maldini is him. Like Maldini is
Yeah,
him.
and
And he
based on the times they played in, it was a lot more. For fullbacks, they were expected to defend a lot more than they were expected to attack.
yeah.
Different from how it is nowadays.
There were no
Uh,
Cambiasos back then.
Man,
There were Cafu and Carlos.
Cafu
Brazil.
was,
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was
but
pretty
like, let's be honest, those guys,
Brazil.
they would run circles around Cambiaso.
And that's probably why they made it into 3 World Cup finals in a row, because they were just no one did that. No one had 2 offensive.
Yeah.
man, Carlos, that free kick against France, man, that was
Yeah.
just like, this guy had an absolute camp, but the swerve, man, the outside swerve on that thing, fuck, that's one of the best goals of all time. Like, I could watch
There are
that
two
thing.
players. There are like 2 players in history that I think like just defied physics. It was Beckham and Carlos, what they could do with the ball.
And Matt Letizia.
Good old
Matt
Beckham.
Letizia was absolutely insane. Go watch his goals. You'll see
I'm
what
gonna have to do that now.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Matt Letizia from Matt Letizia. Go watch a
Freaking,
clip of his goals. You'll thank me later. No, a Premier League player. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was
Yeah,
fun.
it was good stuff. I like that.
This was awesome.
Always like that. We do have, we're going to do some Storm in the Barns, then we're going to get to Cliff's segment of Off the Cliff, all right? Let's try machine gun a couple of these and see where we're at here.
Okay.
Yildiz and Chico were playing
sorry.
away from each other for too long. Every time our biggest threats play together, we are most dangerous. Finally, someone who gets it in Spalletti. Dude, that's exactly what we were talking about when we were talking about freedom and Chico moving away from the right side, getting over, let them link up. It was, a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Agree there. I know it's way too early to say, but could Spalletti be the man that turns the ship around and gets us to where we're supposed to be? That man has made me such a fan of him in a very short time. You know what? You guys know where I stood with Spalletti coming in. And there's things you cannot deny. We're seeing it. It's moving in the right direction. I would love nothing more than to eat my words when it comes to this guy. So far, he is making me do exactly that, and I'm loving every second of it. Loving every second of it.
Yeah. There's nothing that I like more than being wrong about a player or manager that comes to Juve. I really love it. Not expecting anything from someone, and then he becomes
If
just
Juve
great and
thrives and
expectation.
succeeds, I'll gladly be wrong for the rest of my life.
Oh,
And my
absolutely.
wife's going to tell me that every day anyway. So, I mean, fuck,
Yeah.
might as well have Juve succeeding and thriving. Gee, I'm wrong every day around here. So,
The
it's
one
what
who's
it
always
is.
right, yeah.
I said this a while ago about Spalletti when he first came in, despite my personal feelings and my views of him, etc. He's actually shattering some of those views. But I said this could be the perfect scenario for Juve, because you have a manager who's looking to rebound off the perception of him after what happened with the Azzurri, and you have Juve who now has more of the light shining on Elkan and more of the light shining on the players and the roster. So I said, if you're Spalletti coming into this situation, you're almost playing with free money. So it could make it the best possible situation, because everybody's looking at Spalletti like, man, he's got to walk into this shit show. It's almost an expectation that it's going to be a struggle and they're going to, suffer, and can he actually do it? So it's like, yeah, he's playing with free money. Might be what's making it the best possible scenario for us, right?
Yeah, and it improves from game to game, so no complaints. I mean, we see the progress with each match. I have nothing to complain about. That blip against Napoli, but that's it.
Yeah. all those Chico isn't worth 30 million are starting to get quiet. Oh yeah,
Openda haters. Openda haters are getting quiet too.
There are people who don't like being wrong about players, and if they thought they were shit, they will keep that opinion, even if that guy's win a Champions League for you.
Thoughts on
Like
Juve
on
apparently
Ramos.
looking for a new number 9 in January, according to Skira. I know it's just a loan, but we are flooded at the striker position. Better use that money on a center back. Well, guys, we just got Milik back. I mean, what the hell? We don't need a striker. What are we doing? He's back, baby. He's back.
Is he on loan? Is he on loan?
Look,
that's disgusting, Al. I don't want to hear Milik's name again.
I do not believe that Juve does anything but safety net signings.
It's a weird one. I posted it this morning on our page, and it's a really weird one. Okay, on loan. Who do we have out there? I mean, I would go for Endrick from Real Madrid.
Colomwani.
He's barely playing. Colomwani is on loan in another club. We can't.
I know. I'd love to loan a loan player.
We gotta see. For me, man, you need an outside left player. You need a left outside player as coverage.
Yeah.
You need to be able to give.
Let's not get into renewal talks with Kostic, and let's get ourselves somebody on the outside left. Look, I gotta bring this up because of rumors around Tether and offers and everything. Del Piero came in and he had some very, very interesting words around that when asked about it. As he was asked about Elkan refusing the offer. And it was very, very interesting how he tackled it. This guy, I'm telling you, man, he's ready to have a key role at Juve if he ever wants it and they ever want him in because of the way he talks. The Elkan refusal to Tether, Del Piero's response, beautiful. This is a glorious club, which you all know I love. Behind the club is 102 years of passion and a family that has carried it until now. No ownership has ever lived as long as they have. I have experienced many beautiful moments with the Agnelli family, including 2006, because the family was there too at our most dire moment. It's easy to make statements when you win, but strength is being able to pick yourself back up. We did it in 2006, and we will do it again after the wound from 2022 is healed. We must not confuse sporting results with a bitter attitude towards the Elkan Agnelli family. Elkan's words mean this: the path on the pitch depends on factors, but one thing will always be constant, and that's the power of the ship. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of wrongs in there.
The main thing I take away that might be happening, are you associating the results with bitterness and negative attitudes towards Elkan? Does Elkan have to sell and have to go? That's the thing that I have been fighting. I feel two different ways about this. One of the things Del Piero's talking about when he's talking about the family ownership and all this and the connection and whatnot, I personally feel like the connection is being lost because of Elkan. It's one of the things I have with him. He's just not around. The connection, it's got a different feel. It feels a little more brandish, a little more corporate, like I'm not locked in. But the other part, when he's talking about associating the results and everything with them and whatnot, well, I mean, you are calling the shots if you're Elkan. The other thing
that's
is...
what a football club is, right? The results at the end of the day.
The other thing is, I've said it, he doesn't need to sell. But we do need the proper people in the proper hands, and he does have to do his job. So it's like, I kind of see where Del Piero's coming from, but it's not so clear cut, right?
That's an interesting one because Agnelli just got vindicated.
Yeah.
Sort of. So I don't know what it
Well,
means in terms of his suspension or whatever. We'll have to wait and
there's a
see.
big thing there because if they
Yeah.
deem that the sports justice, which they have, they've acted like the sports justice can can hand out life sentences for God's sakes. So there's a major
Mhm.
issue there in Italy. But if this next case goes in favor of Agnelli, how on earth do you backtrack all of that? You almost
Mhm.
can't from what they've taken
Yeah.
away from him and the damage done, right? So there's a very interesting side case there, but I thought Del
So
Piero's words were
if he's
pretty interesting.
available, if he's available, and Elkan can just bring him back to be the president and stop dealing with Juve altogether for Elkan, then I'm all for it. And also the tether thing is a bit, I don't know, it's sketchy because they either lied to them and told them, oh, we just want minority shares and blah, blah, blah. And then they wanted to buy, like made a move. So either Extra didn't know about it or they did it and it's just a stunt, PR
I ha-
stunt.
I have one problem with Tether. If you truly are a fan and you care so much and you do this, you're putting way too much out there. The social media stuff, all this and stuff, like, do this behind closed doors. Why make it so hostile? Why try and create divide amongst the fan base? That's
Yeah.
the part that fucks me up with Tether.
I have a different issue. At the end of the day, everything I have to go on is Ardonio's love for Juve. That's not enough for me to pull Juventus out of the Agnelli family. Because they're a business, they're a crypto business, cryptocurrency or whatever. And when those businesses start to lose money, I think they like, I don't know if he likes money and his money more than he likes Juventus. Because when that shit starts losing money, they give it away. I don't want to be another Redbird or whatever,
Yeah.
Oak Tree, whatever Inter had. And so I can't give Juve to someone based on, hoping he's as a big a Juve fan as us to never let the club go. Because when he starts losing money, they'll ditch whatever losing the money. That's how businesses work.
Hmm. When you lose money,
So that,
everything changes. Attitudes change.
yeah, and
Yeah.
why can they start as just, okay, sponsor on the shirt? Why can that be the first step to integrating them?
Exactly.
Andrea brought branding and commercial business style, not Elkin. He focused on expanding and he brought revenue up. He was a
Didn't he all?
visionary. Who killed Villar Perosa? Not Andrea. One of the most traditional things that Juve's ever had. Past players talk about that. Patrice Evra, on every show he goes on, talks about Villar Perosa, and that's where he understood what Juve was all about. That's dead, not because of Andrea.
Didn't
That's why
Andrea
I'm saying
also?
these family feelings, this culture thing, it's not gone because of Andrea.
Didn't he bring in the what's it called, the next gen? Didn't he bring that idea about
Next
too?
gen, we own our stadium, Juventus women, the list goes
Yeah.
on and on and on. On and
Yeah.
But
on.
that's like the bare minimum now for a top club.
Yeah. 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 Now, we got more Storm the Barns. We'll try Machine Gun. We're running overtime. Cliff has off the cliff segment. It's time to go. Fire away, brother.
Let's run it. Okay, so I got a couple here. First one is I have two that are going to be Juve related, and then a surprise one at the end. First one is Pierre Kalulu. Do we think that are we done with him, or do we think that he's on the cliff? He's going to be staying on, and we think he's been consistent enough to stay on, or do you think maybe he could be gone by season's end?
Oh,
I think he's definitely on the cliff and he's not getting off. I really like Kalulu. Yes, he has some mistakes here and there, but I think he's an important part of this Juve. Part of the reason we're still in Scudetto fourth place talks. So yeah, he definitely stays on the cliff for me.
Okay, Al.
back three, Kalulu isn't going anywhere, and he's going to play every minute from here until the end of time. Back four, it becomes a question. So
Is Kalulu right back dead?
as a right back.
Yeah, I think that's
I
ship has
don't think
sailed.
so. I don't think so, because if you have Cambiaso on the opposite flank, it can easily transform into a three-man defense when we're defending.
If you went back for today, Spalletti went back for today, you'd play Kalulu as a right back?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, Cambiaso.
I
Yeah.
disagree only because he gets too far forward at times.
I don't mind it as long as the cover is good. As long
I
as
don't want to
McKennie's
put
there, to
Mac
be
in the
honest.
middle of the park, but I want him on the pitch. And I
Yeah,
might play him on the
yeah,
right
that's
outside.
the issue. Okay, it's good. We
That's
have
why I think
options.
it becomes a discussion of if he's that main and he's not going off a cliff. Like, if it's as a right back, I think you have a discussion. Right center back, back three, Kalulu ain't going nowhere. So, yeah, maybe an asterisk next to that one for me. So, I'm going to, for now, though, for the sake of, he's on the cliff. He's safe. He's safe.
Okay. Okay, I like it. I will, at the center back position, I agree. I think he's on the cliff. Next, off the cliff, Jonathan, Mr. Parmesan on spaghetti, David.
Well, Parmesan
Is
on
he off a
spaghetti's not
cliff?
a problem. It's the
No, no,
seafood.
no.
That's
Oh, yeah, wait, you're right, with clams, Linguini con vongole, no parmigiano.
I think the biggest hot take yesterday was Skanga does not like cheese on his pasta at all. Period.
Yeah, that's some psychopath shit. We're
Yeah, I
not going
think
to
he
talk
might be a
about that,
serial
though.
killer.
Yeah. At least he's got his betting
Want to get
takes.
into
That's
it
all we
now?
can take away from Skanga.
The cheese was like the deciding factor for being a serial killer or not.
Yeah. You don't like grated cheese
Okay.
in your pasta? Yeah.
All serial killers don't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a proven fact. Jonathan David, after Openda's great performance yesterday, do you think Jonathan David is off a cliff? Do you think Openda has solidified himself as that number one option for Spalletti? Do you think David's going to slowly be phased out, not for his takes on, seafood pasta, but because of his play on the pitch?
Okay,
David's
so
not
off the
off a
cliff
cliff,
is
no.
off the lineup or off the team?
Um, so David as the starting striker, is that on or off a cliff? So do we think that he's done as being the number one option?
I don't think so. I think Openda was the right choice for this match. I think there will be a lot of matches that David will be the right choice. And honestly, that's what I like to see. Keep them both, wanting to play and giving it their all every match. Don't give any. If there's anything we learned from the last 5 seasons, is don't give anyone the feeling that he's above the manager's choices for the starting 11.
It would be in Juve's best interest, and this is what I hope they do going forward, to be as unpredictable as possible. What I want to see Juve do down this stretch, not just January, but the rest of the season, is be that team that fights and claws for everything and just become a pain in the ass and let everybody else think about you and know that you're right there, just right there in the mix. So for me, let it be determined by the matchups. Yesterday, it made sense for Openda, but it's not always going to make sense. And let all their guys have their time. Let all the players feel their value and whatnot, and that they're a part of it. A lot of the players are saying the same thing. Spalletti has the trust in us, and we believe in him. It's starting to come through. So mix it up. I don't think that you lock it in with Openda. I think you still mix it up.
Okay, cool. I like those answers. And the last one, this is the one that I've been most excited about. And Al, I hope this makes it onto the X account because I think this is going to be a banger. The age-old question, Pandoro or Panettone edition of Off the Cliff. Which one are we throwing off the cliff?
Pandoro. I'm
Yeah.
Panettone. Panettone for me. All day, every day. Panettone French toast, you've achieved perfection.
In general, I hate food, so I have no idea.
I just need it to survive, but I
He's
hate
like,
it.
we're just going to throw food off the cliff. That's what we're going to do.
yeah. If I could take a pill or do photosynthesis, like the plants, I would. I hate everything around dealing with food. I just like eating pizza once in a while. That's about it. So I don't really know what those two are. So I'll go with Al and throw the what was the other one? Panettone and
Andoro and Panettone.
yeah, Pandoro, yeah, whatever that is. Throw it off a cliff. I don't even know.
And I mean, we're gonna let it run its course in a poll here for the chat there. But Cliff is Pandoro. I'm Panettone.
Yeah,
Panettone.
I am clearly sitting with two serial killers right here because Pandoro is clearly superior. It is more soft. It's more succulent compared to Panettone. It's just more enjoyable. It's more of a better, enjoyable experience, and I think it's better as French toast, to be honest. And who wants candied
I
fruit in their
Okay, I'm gonna tell
Panettone?
you right now. Pandoro is a screening tool, okay? So it tells us that you listen to Pet Shop Boys and wear short denim shorts. That's what Pandoro's all about. Panettone is for the old schoolers, okay? That, know what it's like to get their hands dirty. Used to have fights not on keyboards, but, fist to fist. It's for the old schoolers, all right? That's what I
You took
like.
this to another level. You took this to a level I was not expecting. I didn't think you were gonna take it that seriously.
We
I
take our
I think
Panettone and Pandoro discussions very seriously, okay? Very
yeah,
serious. It's
literally somebody told
50-50
me
right now for the votes there, but
this
oh
is
man.
this is how we know we have smart viewers. This is a very good topic. And also I
Gio
want to say
said
somebody told me
Panettone out and then followed up with I definitely wear short shorts. So there you go. There you go.
amazing. Absolutely
Oh man,
amazing.
good stuff. Let's machine gun a few more of these, and guys, this is the last one before Natale. So to everybody celebrating, of course, Merry Christmas. We wish you the absolute best. Enjoy the holidays with your family and loved ones, but do so safely. And another message that I've been adamant about putting out there is the holiday season can suck for some and be a very difficult period of time. So. Mental health is something that I personally have struggled with through periods of my life and have learned that the best thing for it is to actually kill this myth that, guys, men, you can't talk about it and whatnot. So not just for the men that tune in that are part of the AJC Army, but even the women, like if you're struggling, if you need a set of ears, our socials are always open and we always keep that all year round, not even just for the holidays. But if it's not us, reach out to somebody, okay? Make sure that you talk it out and take care of yourselves, okay? We all want to see Juve hoist that Scudetto together at season's end and celebrate together, all right? So big message for the holidays and Natale. By the way, Pandoro wins by 56 to 44%. Oh, we're back at 50-50. We're back at 50-50.
Come on, guys, go and vote for
55%
Pandoro.
Panettone, and we're ending the poll right there. It pays to be the
No,
boss.
that's not
Sorry,
how
Cliff.
that works. That's cheating, Al.
It just went to 55, and I shut it down right at the
we
same
learn
time.
we learned from age for FIGC, so don't expect a fair game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see
FIGC
that.
rules in effect. All right.
I'm gonna need to talk to someone after this poll.
If
Yep.
Wes and
Talk to
Spalletti
whoever.
both resign, Wes will be given the armband next year. I mean,
Hmm.
I've always been a proponent. Let the squad decide who they believe their true captain is. Let the squad decide.
Is he the longest serving player right now at Juve?
Isn't
He's right. He's been
well,
here
no,
since the
because he
Pirlo
had a
season.
loan stint in there. I believe it's
Mm,
Locatelli, is
Half
it
a-
not?
yeah.
No, it
Well,
has
what
to
No,
about
be
Rugani.
Perin,
Ruggero?
It's
to be honest.
Rugani.
Oh, it is
It has to be
Rugani. Oh my
Perin,
gosh.
but Rugani was on multiple
It's
loans.
not Perin,
Not
it's
only.
Rugani.
I
Rugani
think
is a
Perin, I
longer
mean,
serving Juve player than Perin.
well,
So we
if you
need to make
count
Rugani. Oh, sorry.
no, I
Pinsolio.
I
think
was
it's
get
maybe
Pinsolio, yeah.
Pinsolio.
It might be
I mean,
Pinsolio.
Wes has been here for 6 years, like from 2020, right?
Yeah.
With half a year of, he was only there for 6 months, I believe, at Leeds. Or was it a full season? I don't
Yeah.
even remember anymore.
I th I think it was a full season actually.
Man,
Might
we
be, I
got
don't remember.
where the heck is this here?
I'm still mad that Al shut the poll down early.
I had to. So Suarez asking in Storm the Barn, when is the Coppa Italia match against Atalanta? February 4th on a Wednesday. Okay,
Yeah,
that is when
there's a
that
bit
game
of
is.
a not a problem, but a lot of things are postponed because of the AFCON. That's why there aren't a lot of matches, and we have the Super Cup that some teams are playing. So that kind of screwed up the schedule a bit.
versus Pisa. This is the big match for Cliff. He decides everything in Juve's future based on our matchup against Pisa because they have one Quadrato. Chico's
my life
muscle
decisions.
injury overload play Yildiz, Openda, and David because of Chico's... Well, he's avoided muscular injury, but he's being, obviously monitored. Would you go with Yildiz, Openda, David?
No.
Against Pisa, I have no issues with anything you do up front. I think it should all be enough. But there's a full week, and Chico didn't seem injured afterwards, and he said he's fine. So even if he had a slight injury, he could already heal before the match.
Give me Yildiz,
I say give
Yildiz, Miretti, David for Pisa is what I do.
I want to see Zigrova get a full start.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him get some more minutes before the next time he enters the pitch so that he's not so nonchalant. Bastard.
Yeah.
Bastardo. That's what I would do. But guys, we're going to obviously keep you in the loop on that one, building up to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, we're signing out. This was a lot of fun, this session. I thank these fellas for a couple great segments there. You guys, enjoy yourselves. Do so safely. Have a few bevies if you're into that for old man Berto. I will definitely be having some beverages and enjoying time with the family. For Juve, they gave us a nice little streak to go into Natale. And let's hope that it kicks off the same way it ends when we face Pisa. All eyes on the fitness department. Burgess has stepped in. Supposed to be this big guru and everything. Well, let's see if we can cut down those recovery times. That's supposed to be a big part of it. Something that Juve has been brutal for. So let's see. Drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, everybody that's tuning in off X and these other platforms, head over to YouTube and subscribe. In about a week's time, this bad boy is given away. Brand new third kit with the star boy, Yildiz, on the back. Good luck to you all. And I do have a surprise after Christmas. Okay? We'll have a special surprise after Christmas. Buon Natale tutti. Forza Juve. Fino alla fine. Let's make some damn noise and make those punks think about us at the top. Okay? Striking distance, but let's keep it rolling. Ciao tutti. Merry Christmas. Buon Natale. And beautiful boxers, Omar. The Christmas mutande.